Welcome back to Chicago, and today we are celebrating 30 years of Zanies Comedy Club, and I wanted to ask Bert Haas if he would introduce our next two guests.
I would love to. Patty Vasquez.
Hello.
And Michael Alexander.
Hello, Bill.
Good to have you.
And I want to say, Bill, I'm very proud and happy to say that I've known the four comedians for about 25 years, and that's been one of the pleasures of my life.
Oh, not average, though. We have not known you for 25 years. It's not. It was not.
The ladies, of course.
He was going to the 8th grade graduation in order to...
On average.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just want to be clear. Not that anybody else is older or younger.
Yeah.
I met Bert first season of Good Times, actually. So. It's been a long time.
That was your catchphrase, wasn't it?
Exactly. Stole that.
That's well, Patty, you
Yes.
were working at Zanies, and you were going to Northwestern.
I was, actually, I dropped out of Northwestern to become, it had been about 7 or 8 months since I had dropped out, and I auditioned. Actually, this is wonderful. This is perfect. I auditioned for Bert on a Tuesday night, and Michael happened to be there featuring that night and talked Bert into hiring me. Yes.
Okay.
A couple comics. Said,
Yeah.
you and Dobie Maxwell.
I believe the scheduled MC didn't show up.
The MC did not show up that
And
night.
Mike
Right,
said to
now I
me,
remember
what about
that.
that girl that showcased last night? I thought she did a real good job. And Mike and Dobie and a couple of comics said, yeah, why don't you hire her? And so that was Patty's first,
That was
I did the whole
first
week.
gig at Zanies. Yeah.
And then he called me up and asked me if I wanted to be a house MC a couple weeks later, and that was how it all started.
So how did that feel at that time? I mean, did you were standing at that crossroads where you're like, do I want to do this? Do I want to do that?
No. There were no crossroads.
No,
there were
there
no
were not. It
crossroads.
was
That's why I
just
dropped
like,
out of
this is
Northwestern.
it,
I
I'm
was
done.
obsessed. I had to do comedy.
Why?
I really had to.
What was it?
It was Margaret
inside
Cho.
you?
I saw Margaret Cho. I had always been a fan of comedy. I was obsessed. I always would watch Johnny Carson. I remember seeing like Roseanne Barr, and I saw Ellen DeGeneres and Gary Shandling and all these people. But it never occurred to me until I saw Margaret Cho. That was my inspiration. Like everybody else had been, everyone else I considered influence, but I saw her and I was like, that's like me. My mom's an immigrant. I don't talk like you expect an immigrant's child to talk, and I, just sort of fun and sassy, and that's what I had to do it. I could do it.
It's
That's why.
worked. How about you, Mike?
Oh, my God. I started comedy in 1985, that long ago. And, I think my association with Zanies started probably 86, 87.
Okay.
Bert was always gracious. I think I had to showcase maybe 3 or 4 times, and then, he hired me. And, what I always liked about Zanies is if you worked hard and they could see that, then they'd be interested in you.
Absolutely.
Simple as that.
Absolutely.
And I was going to say, as a national institution, in the performing arts, I mean, Zanies is like up there.
There's no other comedy club in the country anywhere. There's no other environment like that where the audience. It's such an intimate experience for audiences. It really is. It's one of my favorite clubs. It's also one of the hardest because it's a high stage and it's a long room. The lights are right there and you can't see that much of the audience. But it's wonderful. It throws some people off for the first time, but it's just great.
What do you think the country needs as professional comedians, as masters of this art form today, that you can provide? And you can respond to that any way that,
What I think has always worked best is an honest reflection of what's going on. And that's why you do so much political stuff. It's, it's interpreting things that people may not think of or say. And I know Michael does a lot of...
I think so, too. I mean, basically, I think that, people laugh at things they know, things that they're aware of. And, when it comes to maybe doing topical material, I like to do topical and political material, like Patty said, I mean, it's a lot of things that they would like to say, but they don't feel that maybe they have the voice to say it.
Right, and right now, this is a recession, or what? They're not saying it's a recession yet. It's
haven't quite
not officially. Actually, my husband lost his job July 1st, and it's so weird to say he lost his job because he knows exactly where it is. They just won't let him get to it. But I know that a lot of and when I first started saying that in July, people would get kind of uncomfortable. But now it's not that uncommon. I've met so many people, and we are on Cobra, which I love having my healthcare named after something that's going to bite me in the tuchus and possibly slither away. But yeah, I mean, but sharing those stories, I think people knowing that they're not the only ones going through something is often. I'm a mother of 2, and I talk about things that other moms come up to me and they're like, "Oh, I think those things all the time. I'm not crazy."
And I've never seen times this hard ever in my life. I mean, this is horrible. And this economy, this economy is so bad that Kato Kalin had to move into OJ's prison cell. So it's just really tough nowadays for everyone.
That is retro and current. I like that.
Retro current. So you like retro current. That's pretty cool.
The spectrum, baby.
Really good. I like that. And it was like it was everything.
You know, Bill, earlier when Jim and Sally were talking about finding their character, what Patty just talked about, what they're talking about is their voice as an artist. And that's really crucial in their development as comedians. That's probably the most difficult thing, is to find your voice as an artist and then take that on stage. But once you do that, then that's when the humor goes from here up to here. You can really start to connect with the audiences.
Yeah, and I was going to ask, you know, with younger people coming in and looking at comedy slightly different, with the different over the internet ways of transmitting information, how does that, I mean, we have lost in many respects our connection to our humanity, but comedy keeps us connected.
It's very immediate, and I think that desire to want to share what you're thinking, what your take on things is, you know, it's when people want to do it, and if they're committed to doing it, they can, and it is great that there are so many outlets for it online, but there's nothing like a comedy club. There's nothing like going to Zanies.
Yeah, when you're at Zanies, there's just that intimacy and that immediacy that you just can't get in any other medium. Except for your show.
You're the last
Right now,
one.
it's extremely immediate.
Well, Mike, as you look at the future, where do you see your life going as a result of Zanies?
You know, anywhere I'm willing to work hard, you know. I think that I can do anything I want to do as long as I'm willing to work hard for that. Right now I'm developing a internet talk show. Actually, I'm taping my first show a week from today, and Patty's going to be my guest. It's called Inside the Comic Studio. And it's taped in my Northside studio apartment. And, as of today, I'm actually going to have a live audience, but we'll see. That's on the fence.
Depends if you don't break up with your girlfriend or not. Is that what determines it?
In the middle of nothing.
Yeah, that depends on whether or not I have a talk with my landlord or not.
My kids are available. Should I bring the boys?
Yeah, bring your boys.
Well, I'm going to ask you guys to stay with me. We're going to be back with a little bit more Chicago right after this.
Return. Oh, my dear, I'm so lonely. Hurry up.
We repair, we restore, we renew. We just want you back together. Mako, America's Body Shop.
Right now, Mako is painting bumpers for only $99. Visit your local Mako today. Mickey and Friends twinkle in the season with the 2008 Magnificent Mile Lights Festival presented by Harrah's. Join host Janet Davies, Alan Krzyzewski, GMA's Robin Roberts, plus Jose Sanders for all the fun. With performances from the hit Broadway musical Mary Poppins and the Cheetah Girls presented by Radio Disney AM 1300. November 22nd at 6. Presented by the all-new Chevy Traverse. Log on now to Chevy.com. And American Family Insurance. No one knows American families like an American Family Insurance agent.
Welcome back to Chicago, and today we are celebrating the 30th anniversary of Zanies, and Bert Haas, as we've done this show, just some really cool things with our guests, Michael Alexander, Patty Vasquez, and your wife, Sally Edwards, and Jim McHugh. What do you think you want the audience to know about Zanies that we haven't talked about yet?
It's just a great place to get a great laugh. It's intimate, it's immediate, and we just try and present the best comedians, and you've seen some of them here today.
Yeah. 3 locations in the Chicago area.
Chicago, St. Charles, and Vernon Hills.
And folks can go to Zanies.com.
The easiest
online.
way is to get online and go to Zanies.com.
Or hang on over to
or call me at my house.
There's Bert's number there, 312-337-4027. And the big 30th is on the 30th.
Yeah, going to be November 30th. We're the finals of our Zaniest Person in Chicago contest.
Wow.
I'll be hosting that too.
Patty will be hosting
We've been doing this all year.
Yeah.
So that's coming up on...
It's Sunday, November 30th, our official anniversary date.
Wow, 30 years.
Are you going to get to bring a turkey? Didn't you have to bring a turkey one year for Thanksgiving? No?
What I heard Sally say,
but
she
I'm
was
not going
bringing
to
a
again.
turkey.
No turkeys allowed
No
at our
turkeys
contest.
allowed,
Yeah.
but the 30th, and a big, big deal.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks for
We're very
being on the
excited.
show and
Thank you
helping
for
us
having us.
celebrate.
Thank you, Bill.
Folks, remember, it is an inside job. You decide to make it a great week. I'm Bill Campbell. So long.